All right. Okay, we're going. Okay. All right. This is Karl F Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Monday, May 4th, 2020. Let me get into my music here real fast. Okay. Now, let me get my disclaimer out. If you're 13 years old or younger, please leave this podcast now. This is not child content friendly or content directed. Oh, oops. Okay, that was my alarm. Again, if you're under 13, please leave now. Okay, I'm going to try and do this really fast because I'm working with a external mic on this podcast. I think the audio quality might be better than just the standard. I'm recording this on my cell phone, so I'm trying an external mic on this. Actually, this mic is for my camcorder, so it's kind of a nice mic. So we're going to see how it works. Anyway, let's get into this. There is hope that sports may be coming back, but they're working out the details. And the biggest problem I have is that, with all the social distancing and everything, so they're doing it. We can have sports with no fans, which is all fine and dandy. It'll be nice to be able to see, because Dr. F is what I'm going to call him. I've got names for him that I can't repeat over the air, and same with Dr. C. Actually, it should be Dr. B, but I'm going to call her Dr. C, and you know what the C stands for. So I can't say that on the air, but I'm furious with these two. Anyway, so here's the big idea. Have all these sports, don't have any fans there. There's a big problem, a problem for the owners and the problem for the players. But I saw this problem, and I'm going to get into the problem as we go, so just bear with me. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. I saw this coming even before the pandemic, and I saw this as being a ploy by the major networks. Well, this pandemic sure helped them out a lot, but now let me get into what I was seeing. What I was thinking is with all these new IPTV things and all this, we're doing sports, and the cable companies, the satellite companies, they got to do something. And so I'm looking at a more of a pay-per-view type thing to see sports, and even on regular TV, you get your Comcast service or something like that. You want to do the sports, you got to sign up for the subscription. So that's the way we're heading, and it's really, really expensive. But what I'm getting at is, okay, how, if you have all these sports events, how are they gonna, without any fans, because they cannot make the money they make just by selling their merch. Where their money comes in is the high price tickets with 70, 80, 90, 100,000 of people per game. And that's how they're able to afford the salaries. And believe me, and these athletes are not going to work for minimum wage. And even if there's no income coming in, how can the owners even pay them minimum wage? And you can't blame them. They are, risking injury every time they go out there, and sometimes career-ending and life-altering injuries. So, as much as I don't like some of these exorbitant salaries, they do need to be compensated, and compensated well for what they do. For their sports is entertainment, and I love it. But what I am not going to buy into is a pay-per-view for every football game, for every. So basically, what I'm getting at is to replace the fans, because of all the social distancing stuff. They're gonna replace that with, watch it at home, pay the $20 per game, which I will not do. But that's the direction we're heading. So we'll more than likely have sports, but you're going to be paying through. And not only this, with all the people out of work, I can see there'd be some people, some diehard fans who would be willing, especially during football season. There's only 16 games, but that's $320 per season. If you're going to watch every single game and you got to pay $20 a game, I can do better things with my photo editing, my video editing, and I can use that 300, and I will just totally drop all the sports from my podcast, from my YouTube channel. I'll keep all the old episodes up there, but going forward, if this is the way they're going to go, I'll just go into a different direction, because I can use that money elsewhere for better equipment and do more quality live streams and that sort of thing. So here's my point, and here's the question of the day. What do you think? Will you, the fan, watch sports if there's no fans, if there's nobody in the stadium? That's beside the point. But will you be willing to pay $20 per NFL game every Sunday just to see your favorite team? And especially if you're one of those people who are not working, I don't see how anybody can do that. But if you're fortunate enough to have a job and able to afford that, I can see some people doing it. But I'll tell you what, these sport players are going to be hit, and the reality is going to be coming in really soon when their paychecks drop, because the owners won't be able to pay these high things. They're going to have to renegotiate all their salaries, and they're not going to like it. So one way or another, something's going to come to a grinding halt, and you're going to probably see strikes, because the Players Association, and rightfully so, for one of the few times I agree with the Players Association, the owners are going to try and get away with trying to pay them peanuts for them out there risking their careers and their bodies and serious injuries. I wouldn't go out there for peanuts. I do believe that some of these salaries are way too high, but they need to be compensated, and they need to be compensated good, because many of them have to pay for their own health coverage, because the owners are basically cheapskates for the most part. And so it's up to the players. So, and that goes into part of their salary. I mean, for example, Matthew Stafford, poor guy, he's got not only all of the injuries he's suffered, but his wife is going through cancer treatments. And that's coming out of his own pocket, from what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know him personally. I don't know his wife personally. Maybe they've got something worked out with the Lions, where he's got a plan with the Lions. I think it's on a individual contract thing. But if they don't, for the most part, a lot of these players, they're on their own when it comes to health coverage, and that's not fair to them. I know they have a lot of money, but the thing is, even with a lot of money, these cancer treatments are exorbitant. So you have to feel for some of these people in a way, because they deserve health coverage just like anybody else. There's a lot of people on the other side of the fence say, well, they have making a lot of money, but when you're paying like $200,000 to $300,000 a pop for treatments, well, that digs into I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Are you going to are you willing to pay $20 per or more per sporting event to watch games where there's no fans or anything? Are you willing to support the players and their salaries and that sort of thing? Because I won't do it. I'll just go a completely different direction on my podcast and my YouTube videos and that. But if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please leave a comment in the below. Let me know what you think about that. If you're watching this in my podcast, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. And on my YouTube channel, I have not only my main channel, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification there, but you'll see Karl's Corner Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, plus go into the playlist, have all my links to all my other stuff. And I do Monday morning podcast, and my voice is starting to crack, so I got to go. And we will put on my music, and we will... Okay. All right. Well, I think this came out, so we will find out. Have a good day, and we will talk to you next week.